I'm Laura Brodniak with the Lonas Group, and I'm here today with Denise Lonas to talk about open houses. Denise, you have some really strong feelings about open houses. Can you share those with us?
I have some very strong feelings about open houses. I think that open houses are actually underrated today. I think that agents aren't doing enough of them. I think that's good for agents that are doing them, but I think agents, first of all, when they do open houses, aren't prepared. I don't think they give enough thought to the marketing of the open house. I think that they go to an open house expecting to sell that house, and they don't realize what an incredible opportunity is for just marketing themselves and also picking up buyers. So I think that while lots of agents out there have stopped doing open houses, I think agents need to start doing more of them.
Well, you talked about preparation for open houses. What exactly are you talking about?
Well, I think that what happens for most agents is they get sick and tired of doing open houses because when they do them and they show up, nobody shows up for them to talk to. So preparation is really looking at the area that the open house is going to be in and then preparing a marketing campaign around that open house. Preparing for an open house is not just about showing up with signage. It is about really thinking about how are you going to attract people to come to that open house. Have you done any online marketing? Have you done any offline marketing? Have you invited the neighbors? Do you have a database that you've actually sent something out to because maybe it fits within their criteria? I think doing some advertising and marketing before the open house is critical, or your chances of sitting there alone are pretty big.
Well, no one wants to sit at an open house alone. So give me an example. If I was an agent and I was preparing for a Sunday open house, who would I market to if it's someone outside of my database?
Okay, so let's imagine now you have an open house, and that open house is a piece of waterfront property, and it's in a very exclusive neighborhood. Well, a couple things that you need to do. First of all, you need to advertise and market and promote to luxury homeowners that already live on the water, but perhaps they're in a neighborhood that's less expensive. Because once someone's lived on the water, they're going to want to continue living on water, but now they're ready for a bigger house. So I'd market down from the property price point. Then you also want to market up because perhaps someone's living in a beautiful home right now, but it's a little bit more than they want to live in. Perhaps their kids have left and gone to college. They're downsizing. So I always do what I call the up and down marketing approach, which is go up in price, go down in price. Then you have to look at, in that particular area, the direct neighborhood. If you're not marketing to the direct neighborhood, you're missing a big opportunity. Those are just a couple of real critical you have to do before an open house.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about, you're at the open house, you've done some marketing, you have clients coming in. How do you actually interact when you're at an open house? What do you suggest that agents do?
Well, the first thing I suggest agents do is to let people be on their own during the open house. I think there's nothing worse than an agent pouncing on you when you walk into the open house and you're like, hi, my name's Denise, let me give you a tour. They don't want that. People are, they're self-lookers. They want to do their own thing. So the first thing I tell agents to do is to relax. Be in control of the open house. Open the doors, say, welcome to my open house. Feel free to have a look around. I've got some information if you need it, but don't pounce on them. Second thing you need to do at the open house and interacting with clients is give them something that they want to interact about, which is information. That's pretty critical. So the kind of information people want to know is they want to know about the neighborhood. They want to know about the amenities of the area. They want to know everything they can possibly know about that particular area. Also, the other thing that agents forget is that no one's going to buy that house unless they've seen everything in that area. So I tell agents to be prepared, have an open house book, which requires them to do some work. But actually, before that person leaves, what I like to do, if that was you, Laura, before you would leave, I would say to you, Laura, before you leave, here is a tour book that will show you other houses similar to this one in price point, a little higher, a little bit lower. But I want you to feel free to have a look at it because inside I've got a map that shows every house in the area in these price points. It'll also give you a rating sheet. And if you need to get in to see any of them, please, please feel free to call me. And what this does is this really relaxes the potential client because you're not pouncing on them and you're saying, here's the information and there's no catch. And I tell agents, do not start asking people a million questions. Now that's the opposite of what we're taught in real estate school. But if you want to have a successful open house, you have to be able to interact with clients in a comfortable manner without making them feel like you're selling to them.
I would agree. I want to come back to one thing that you talked about, which was greeting people at the door. Probably every open house I've gone to, I go in the door, I'm looking for the agent, they're in the kitchen. Talk a little bit about why you suggest we meet people at the front door.
Well, first of all, I think it's a really unnatural thing for people to ever open up someone else's front door. We're actually trained when we go to a door, we knock. Do you know that we're trained never? You never go into someone else's home without knocking. And I think that it's very uncomfortable. First of all, it's a double-edged sword. If the door is closed, what do? Do you knock? If the door is open, do you come in? And most people, if you come in, you're kind of creeping. So what I tell agents to do is you can have your materials set up in the kitchen. You can have your information there, but you need to be strategically right by that front door. And when people come to the front door, the door needs to be opened by the agent prior to that person hitting the steps of the front door. So you have to be there. You open the door and you just very confidently say, "Hi, welcome to my open house. Feel free to have a look around. I'm here to answer questions, but I'm not going to follow you around." Be really upfront about what you are and are not going to do. I think it's critical to absolutely be the one who opens the door.
Great. That is super. Thank you so much for sharing your tips, Denise.
Great. Thanks, Laura.
Yep.